Hey guys, it's Marissa, and today's video is going to be everything you need to know about college. And I know a lot of you guys are in high school, and maybe some of you guys are even in middle school, but it's really like never too early to start thinking about college. And trust me, you guys, the more prepared you are, the easier it'll be. Like, the more that you familiarize yourself with college, the less scary it's gonna seem. So I'm gonna be walking you guys through some of my most helpful tips. And also, I'm gonna teach you guys how to use this website called Thrivent Student Resources, which helps you plan and pay for college. And also, make sure and comment below any questions that you guys might have about college, and I will try and answer them. So one really important thing is to do your research and talk to the guidance counselors at school. And this is one that I really didn't utilize, and I feel like it was like a missed opportunity. So I want to make sure that you guys learn from my mistake. And there are people at your school who their entire job is to just talk to you and help you prep and plan for college. And you want to start talking to them, I would say, like your first month of your junior or senior year, or even earlier, honestly, is preferable. And can I just say, do not wait until the last second, like the last month before college applications are due, to go and set up a time to talk with them, because that office is so full. It's full of like desperate students who want advice, and I was one of those desperate students who needed help and advice. So definitely the earlier the better. And you want to come in and talk to them about like your career goals. They're going to go over things like your GPA, your current grade point average, what you're interested in, what schools you might be thinking about, you know, what if you had any majors in mind, things like that. So use online resources to figure out what you want to do and, you know, which career is best for you. And I think choosing a major has always been probably the biggest struggle for me, at least, because just there's this added pressure of like, if I choose something that I'm not happy with, you know, it's going to affect my entire life. And you definitely want to kind of do your research and explore all of your options. So I would just definitely recommend, you know, taking an online test to help you set your career goals and just kind of like steer you on the right path. So I would definitely recommend Thrivent Student Resources, which is a site where you can do so many different things to plan for college. And Thrivent Student Resources is a part of Thrivent, which is a not-for-profit financial services organization with over 2 million members. You can search for colleges and scholarships. You can even search for things like textbooks. You can calculate costs for colleges. But one of the things that I've really been, you know, loving has been the career assessment tool. So basically what the career assessment tool is it's a very like thorough, comprehensive quiz, and it asks you, you know, questions about yourself and things that you like to do and your interests, things like that. And it provides you with this really like in-depth analysis about, you know, majors that are going to be really good for you. And it also just recommends a lot of, you know, careers that are going to best suit you. And one thing that I really appreciate about the quiz was how many questions it asked. I felt like it went really in depth, and it asked quite a bit of questions. Like, you know, it wasn't like a 5 or 10 question survey. It was pretty in depth. So I really like that because I feel like it just gives you a better understanding of yourself and like things that are going to be the best for you. So my specific test actually told me that I was super artistic and expressive and independent. I have a lot of great qualities. One of the things that I liked was that it also had something called promising environments. And these are kind of like other things that would suit you. So if you get like a list of your top matches and you're really just not connecting with them, you're not like resonating with them, it has a lot of like backup options and, you know, other things you would be good at. So it's not like it tells you you have to do this one thing. It kind of presents you with a lot of different options. Having so many options is great because it just gives you a lot of like insight about yourself. There's still some thinking involved of like, what really interests me and what do I want to do. Like for me, I'd be really good in social, enterprising, realistic, and conventional fields, but it gave me like so many backup options too. So those are just kind of like the main fields that I would be good in. So for me, it recommended a total of 22 careers, which is amazing because like I said, it really does give you a lot of options, and it obviously tells you which ones you're like a best match for, and it also tells you which ones you might struggle in a bit more. Like for me, that was like investigative environments, said that that was like my least compatible career field. So yeah, I really do like how it kind of tells you what you're good at and also tells you what's maybe gonna be a bit more challenging for you. So you are definitely gonna wanna check out the career assessment tool. It's such a great resource, especially if you're somebody that needs a little bit more help choosing your major. And once you register for the website, you actually have the opportunity to enter to win their sweepstakes, where the prize is $5,000, which is great because you can use it to help pay for college. So it's just great to try and like get as many scholarships as you can and just apply to as many as you can, just to kind of help with the burden of paying for school. So I'm gonna link Thrivent student resources down below for you guys to check out and sign up for. And it's just a really great tool if you're considering going to college. Also take the SAT at like the first available opportunity that you have to take it. So that way, if you need to retake it for a better score, you're not like rushed for time. You can like have time to prep and like figure out what you need to do better, what you need to improve on. And SAT prep classes are a must. So definitely check Google or something, figure out what schools around you are offering SAT prep courses. And I actually took a free SAT prep class on Saturdays. It was honestly not fun, you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it was fun, because it wasn't, other than the fact that the teacher brought us donuts every week. It wasn't fun, guys, but trust me, like, it's a must. Just get through it, guys, and you'll be happy that you planned ahead of time and that you really prepared. And Thrivent Student Resources has a bunch of SAT prep guides and articles you can read, such as how to make yourself irresistible to colleges. So you really only need to take the SAT if you're planning on going to a university straight after high school, not if you're planning on going to a community college and then transfer to a university. But I would still recommend taking the SAT even if you are planning on going straight into a community college, just because it's gonna give you more options. It's gonna open you up to more opportunities, and maybe you will get into a university or get like a scholarship and want to go there instead. So I think it's just good to have the extra options. So even if you think you're just gonna go straight to a community college, I would still recommend taking the SAT. So one tip I have is to familiarize yourself with your school. And this is a great one for once you've finalized, what college you're gonna go to, or even if you just have like a couple options that you're deciding between. It's super easy. Just like look on Google Maps, kind of figure out what's nearby. And this is also a great one if you're planning on living on campus. So if you're living at home and driving to school every day, this one's not gonna be as crucial, but it still is important. And I feel like looking online, figuring out where are the good food places to eat, and like even things like the campus shortcuts, so you can, save an extra 5 minutes in between walking to classes and things like that, is just so helpful. I remember I felt really out of place, and I knew that there was this donut shop like right off my campus, so I would literally walk to the donut shop every single day. But little did I know, there were so many other better places to eat. They had like Chinese food, Mexican food, like all sorts of food, Italian food. Like they had so many different great food options, but I was just so stuck in my routine that I really didn't like explore other cool places to eat. And there was like smoothies, there was a juice bar, like everything you could imagine. So I feel like that was really a missed opportunity. So you're gonna wanna do your research and figure out, where all the good spots are. There were so many good spots at my school, but like I just hadn't bothered to notice before. Also, another little life hack is loads of places and restaurants and all that, they offer student discounts. Like some places will offer like 10-15% off. I know Chipotle does like a free drink. So definitely Google what's nearby your school and what you can get student discounts on, because believe me guys, there's a lot that you can get student discounts for, and it's always such a nice treat. Like oh, an extra free drink, like that's cool. So you wanna definitely get involved in school and campus activities. And this one took me a really long time, but once I kind of like jumped in there, got into the school spirit, if you will, it was awesome. Download the school event calendar and check what's going on in your school. There's always, you know, cool, fun events, activities, food, and most of the time, I would say like 95% of the time, it's all free because, you know, these schools, they have special budgets dedicated to like school activities and things like that. Even like community colleges, universities, it doesn't matter, like all schools have their own little events that are going on. And my school does like everything from, they have like fun movie nights with like projectors and snacks, so you don't have to spend money going to the movie theaters. They also have things like pizza night and just literally just free food on campus sometimes. You just have to know when and where to be. And then they also do things like, you know, they had something, it was like finals week, and they would give out free Scantrons, and then they would give out like free 20-minute massages and like chocolates and food and chips and cute little t-shirts that say the school. So it was just like really awesome. And it was things that I really hadn't known about. So it was good that I researched them because it was like, who doesn't want free stuff? And most recently, they actually had this event where they invited students, like you could, if you RSVP'd, you could go to an arcade and play all the games for free and get free food and drinks. So basically, just think of this as like your free entertainment, especially because being a student is so expensive. So it's kind of like, what are all of your student fees going for, guys? It's like your free entertainment. And this is always great to like grab a bunch of friends and go to the movie night with them or go to the fun arcade with them. So this is a great, fun, free thing that you can do with a lot of your friends. So my next tip is to plan ahead. And this might seem like a really obvious, you know, tip, but planning ahead, figuring out your classes and your courses and credits and all of that is just the best way to make sure that you're gonna graduate on time. So you wanna talk to the counselors regularly because there's always a lot of like paperwork and you have to like petition for graduation. Also, sometimes the requirements for classes that you need will actually change. So there might be one semester where you need to take all these classes and then the next semester it's like, oh, they added this in or they took it out. So you definitely want to keep going to the guidance counselor and figure out what are the current classes you need, what are you taking anything unnecessary, like what's going on there. I once took an entire course, guys, a whole semester of things that I didn't need because I had an old requirements sheet. It was from like a year or two ago and they had updated it. So this is why it's so important to see your guidance counselor, because it's like, I was just thinking, man, if I had just spent 15 minutes seeing the guidance counselor, I could have saved myself an entire semester of taking this class. So it sounds crazy that like meeting with them regularly can save your time and money by not taking unnecessary classes, but it's true. It was just like, I suffered through all of those tests for nothing. And this is another great reason to sign up for Thrivent Student Resources, just because thinking about college, it can be so overwhelming. There's so many things we need to think about that it's kind of like, you don't even know where to begin. So I feel like it's a really good step in the right direction to just help you kind of figure out all the aspects of college. And I really like that you can tackle, you know, so many tough things all in one place. Like obviously the career assessment tool, you know, searching for colleges and kind of comparing colleges, seeing what the costs are gonna be like, searching for textbooks, even things like using the college savings estimator to figure out, you know, how much money you should be putting away right now to save for college, and just all of the complicated and tricky things that come along with trying to prepare yourself for college. And I also follow them on Instagram too, so if you guys want to follow them as well, their handle is @ThriveInSR. So don't feel ashamed if you start off by going to a community college and then later on you transfer to a university. This is something that a lot of people do to save money, and you know, it's a really great option. And I think a lot of people also do it so that you know, they can also live at home at a community college and save money for when they transfer to a university. So it's a great option. I think a lot of people sometimes think like, oh, you go to a community college, but community colleges are awesome. They're a great, you know, starting off point. And I think the good thing is that most of the time when you start off at the community college, you're just kind of getting the general education requirements out of the way, like the GE courses that aren't really going towards your specific major. It's just kind of the basic things that everyone needs. So this is also a great reason to start off at a community college. You know, it can be a really great way to save money and things like that. So don't have your heart so set on one school or one, you know, type of university. Just definitely kind of consider all of your options. So thank you guys so much for watching all of my college advice and tips and hacks. And make sure you guys definitely sign up for Thrivent Student Resources. I would definitely recommend signing up and taking the career assessment quiz. Even if you don't think you're gonna need it, even if you think you know what you're gonna major in, it's just a great way to present yourself with more options. Something that you wouldn't even think you would be good at, but you might actually really be good at. And you know, it's free, it doesn't cost anything to take the quiz. And comment below if you guys do end up taking the quiz. Comment what careers it recommends to you, because I'm like really fascinated. Like I want to know what it recommends to you guys, just because I'm like, ooh, I know what I'm good at, but what's everyone else good at? And also comment below any, you know, general questions that you might have about school or college or planning, all that stuff. And I love you guys. Mwah! Big kiss and bye guys.